What is going on, everyone? My name is the California Cougar, and welcome back to another episode of the Survivor Season Review Series. This time, it's time to review the 12th season of Survivor, Survivor Panama, Exile Island. Alright, so the 12th season of Survivor was an interesting one for sure. Panama, Exile Island. It was the first season where the tribes were divided into 4 tribes rather than just 2 or 3 tribes. It was also the first season to introduce the Exile Island twist as like an integral part of the game. Palau was technically the first season to introduce Exile Island, but this is the first time where Exile Island became like an integral part of the game. Like every episode somebody was sent there. So yeah. Anyway, let's talk about the cast of this season. The cast is interesting, to say the least. I mean, it was divided into 4 tribes based on age and gender. Like, you had older women, older men, younger men. And then, like, that part wasn't really all that interesting. It's when they merged into 2 tribes that things started to become more interesting. You have the Lamina tribe, who is mostly, like, sane people, Terry Dietz kind of being the leader of that. And then you have the Kasaya tribe. The Kasaya tribe is one of the craziest tribes I think I've ever seen. I mean, you have Bobby, who is drinking wine in a toilet. Like, no joke, that's what he did. You have Bruce, kind of the Asian cultural guy. He ended up being pulled from the game because of like an intestinal blockage, I think is what it was. Yeah, I feel bad for him. And then you have Danielle, Aris. They were kind of the more sane people of the group. And then you have Suri. Suri's another sane one of the group. She had an interesting story. One of the better underdog stories. Like, she is supposed to be the first person voted off because she hates leaves. She's afraid of leaves. So, like, Tina, the hardworking lumberjack lady, wanted her off. And then she's like, Suri was not about that. I don't want to be first off. And she turns around. She ends up playing a hell of a game. Finishes 4th at the end, losing in a fire-making challenge. Probably could have won the season. And then, of course, you have the main characters of the tribe. You have Courtney and you have Shane. Like, these two were absolutely crazy. Like, they were ridiculous. So, yeah, I mean, like, what is there to say about it? First of all, I can't believe Shane never came back. Like, he was on the second chance ballot, did not come back. He has been asked multiple times, or he was supposed to be casted multiple times, but got cut every single time. And now there's rumors out there saying that he's never going to play again because he got in trouble with CBS for something, which kind of sucks because he was a fun character. I mean, the blackberry on the wood, thinking seat, his crazy outbursts with Courtney, I'm going to kill you in your apartment. Like, he was a crazy guy. Like, not being able to smoke out there 3 packs a day, like, that's insane. And then, of course, Courtney, the fire dancer lady. Was she a fire dancer? I think she was. She was just as crazy. Getting all her feelings hurt during that one challenge, the touchy-feely challenge, where you answer questions and then chop someone's rope, like that. So, yeah, there's that. And then, like, Aris, Bruce, Suri, and all those. Like, the Lamina tribe, I will say this. I liked Dan, the astronaut. Like, I love how when he was voted off, like, everyone gave him a standing ovation. Other than that, nothing too interesting about them. Austin, Nick, Sally, they were just kind of there. Terry Dietz was the main guy because he found the idol. Like, he took full advantage of Exile Island. He was sent there multiple times. And then just won every single immunity challenge. The Kasaya 6 could not get rid of him. So, yeah, that was a fun story to watch. And then, of course, he aligns himself with Danielle at the Final Four, votes with her to vote Suri out. And then ends up getting betrayed by her at the end. And his little rivalry with Aris was super fun to watch. Like, Wambulance, Terry's crying on the course, the final, was it Final 4 or Final 3? One reward challenge for the protein meal where Terry just beats out Aris barely. Like, that was pretty cool. Like, the whole competitiveness between those two was a lot of fun to watch in the post-merge. And even in the pre-merge, you could kind of see it a little bit with some of the challenges. Yeah, but yeah, like, the problem with the season is the pre-merge just wasn't very memorable. Nothing really happened other than, like, Shane's mood swings and all that stuff. And, like, despite all the good characters, like all the crazy characters of the Kasaya tribe, like, the fact that they just stuck together, it made for a boring post-merge. Like, it was pretty much a pagonging, and the only reason it wasn't a full pagonging is because Terry won immunity so many times that they couldn't actually get rid of him. So, yeah, I didn't really find that part too interesting. So, yeah, that was a bit disappointing. Overall, the season as a whole, it's fun. It's fine. Like, I don't love it. I don't really hate it. It's just kind of a middle-of-the-road season for me. And I know I haven't really talked about it that much. That's because there just isn't a lot to say about it. I mean, Suri was really good for what she was. Shane was fun. Courtney, all those guys. Terry and Aris, their little rivalry. Danielle was kind of boring. I don't know how she made it back as a villain in Heroes vs. Villains. Supposedly she ended up replacing somebody else, which we'll talk about later. But still, I don't really know how she came back as a villain. She was known as a villain because she betrayed Terry at the end. That was like their main push, I think. But yeah, not much else there. The challenges were whatever. The Final 3 challenge was a big disappointment, I thought. Like, you give Terry this big protein-enriched meal that's supposed to give him an advantage, but the challenge itself is just balancing on a platform in the middle of the ocean. How is that meal supposed to help him? It didn't really help him at all. He was the first person out. And then Aris ended up jumping off after nodding at Danielle. So, yeah, that ending was kind of boring. Aris won pretty much in a landslide. I will say this. Shane's jury speech was awesome. It was awesome. As crazy as he was during the show, his jury speech was, like, genuine. Like, he gave legitimate reasons for not being able to vote for either of the finalists, and then a number between 1 and 1,000,000. That was always cool. Although the numbers they chose were hopelessly lame. 4 and 10. Really? You have 1,000,000 numbers to choose from. Danielle could have said 5 and she would have gotten the vote, basically. So, yeah. Like, the other jury speeches were whatever. Shane's was the main one there. So, yeah, with all that being said, that's really all I have to say about Survivor Panama Exile Island. Actually, let's talk about Exile Island. I like this twist. I like the twist a lot. And I'm glad they brought it back for future seasons. But, of course, they haven't really brought it back since then. I wish they would bring it back because I actually think it's a pretty good twist. Someone's just sent out there alone and they can find an idol. I wish they would do that instead of making idols so easy to find nowadays. So, yeah, I'd love to see Exile Island make a comeback. I like the twist. But, yeah, as a whole, Survivor Panama, Exile Island, it was a decent season, but it's nothing that I would remember. So, yeah, it's time to give it a score. I'm going to give Survivor Panama, Exile Island a 6 out of 10. Alright, so there's my review of Survivor Panama, Exile Island, Season 12 of Survivor. I was between a 6 and a 7. I couldn't really decide which one to give it. I decided to give it a 6 because I just felt like the season was kind of boring for the most part, despite like having some good character moments, the rivalry between Chris and Terry. I probably could have even given it a 5, but I settled on 6. I think that's a good score for it. So yeah, if you've seen Survivor Panama Exile Island, what did you think about it? Let me know down in the comments below. Make sure to leave a thumbs up on the video if you enjoyed it. Make sure to subscribe to my channel for more videos to come in the future. I've still got my Pokemon Fire Red Team Venusaur playthrough going on, so check that out if you want. And until the next video, once again, my name is the California Cougar. And always remember to stay California cool. Peace!